Today on Real Pilates, we're going to continue to talk about blood pressure. So we know that blood pressure flows through the body. It's super important. But what is a normal blood pressure? So the standard is normal, healthy blood pressure has a range from 90 over 60 all the way up to 120 over 80. So there's a top number and there's a bottom number, right? 90 over 60. 90 is the top number, and that is called systolic pressure. And that is the pressure that the heart is exerting as it pumps. The systolic pressure, the top number. 90 over 60, 120 would be the systolic, over 80. That is within a normal range. The diastolic pressure is the pressure that is in the vein in between the beats. So that diastolic pressure is super important because that is measuring the elasticity of your vein. So if you look at the number that's normal, you have 60 for the bottom number to 80. That's only a 20 digit range that's normal. But the top number, the systolic, you go from 90 to 120. That's a 30 range that still keeps you within normal healthy range. So the bottom number is super, super important. Stage 1 high blood pressure, right, starts at past 120, right? So they start to say from 129 all the way to 139 top number. And then when your bottom number is above 80, so 81 to 89, short little range, yeah? Short little range. So full high blood pressure is when your top number, the systolic, is 140, and the bottom number is 90. That's only 30 above, right? That bottom number. When your blood pressure is higher than 180 over 120, that is a crisis emergency situation that you need to go to the hospital immediately. On the flip side of that, there is low blood pressure. Low blood pressure is going to be anything that is under 90 over 60. So if you're 89 over 59, they consider that to be low blood pressure. Obviously, high blood pressure is more dangerous. You can have a low blood pressure if you are severely dehydrated. Sometimes during pregnancy, your blood pressure goes down and you need to take care and not overdo if you're pregnant. Sometimes medications can give you low blood pressure. If you have heart issues maybe you don't know about, that can be a sign that your low blood pressure is low, and so you need to go have that checked. Nutritional deficiencies is another sign, is another symptom from low blood pressure, and internal bleeding will give you a drop in that blood pressure. Okay, so most people don't really have that low blood pressure. High blood pressure is where the problem is. And you know now that high blood pressure is usually from a lifestyle that is not healthy. So there are things that lift the blood pressure. One of the most obvious is smoking. Another is excessive alcohol consumption, excessive salt consumption, and excessive weight, being overweight. Even if you're not excessively overweight, but being overweight starts to put stress on that whole cardiovascular system. Lack of exercise. So you can have someone that is normal and they look like, oh, they look nice, they're not overweight, but yet they're not doing anything to strengthening their cardiovascular system or their muscular system. So you have muscular skeletal strength, then you have aerobic strength, cardiovascular strength. I shouldn't say aerobic because there's anaerobic, aerobic, and interval, but cardiovascular strength. And then there's also the lymphatic, right? So the lymphatic system is tied into all of this: cardiovascular health, blood pressure, It's all tied together, and that's the theme of our month. So super important for us to stay hydrated, well, nutrition balanced, moderate your levels of stress. Stress is super important for reduction of stress. I mean, it's super important for longevity. So doing things you like Pilates, I'm joking, doing things that relax you, meditation, taking walks, petting animals. There are many ways to help you relax. So things that can help you bring the blood pressure down that are easy to do is eat a diet that is high in vegetables, fiber, and fruits. Eating fish, especially those darker fish that have the darker oils. Keeping your weight in moderation. Exercising regularly, whether it's strength or cardio or both. Drinking green tea really helps blood pressure. And wearing compression socks and stockings if you're suffering also helps you, especially if you're flying. You want to avoid high salt, right? And you get into the plane, they give you those little peanuts, like what the hell are they thinking, right? And if you're flying and traveling, you could wear compression pants that they have them, those Spanx. Compression on the leg is super important because that's where the heart has a lot of effort, is getting all of that fluid back upward. This is Pilates Master Nikki, and I'll see you for another phenomenal layer of real Pilates.